Welcome back. We're talking about Barcelona, Levante. We're talking about this game. I don't want to read the comments anymore on this channel when I talk about Barcelona. I'll be quite honest with you. Every time I give a team credit, you guys tell me I'm a fan of that team. How does that work? Technically, I am a fan of Barcelona. You want to know why? Because I watched on my couch yesterday Hansi Flick ball. I'm a fan of Hansi Flick. I used to love Bayern Munich because I liked them when he was there. I'll tell you this. Wait. Hold on. Did you watch Bayern Munich in match week 1, guys? Did you watch them? Holy crap. Bayern Munich could be the sleeping giant in the Champions League. I know you're going to say, oh, it's only the Bundesliga. Nah. Those goals, that attack, they're looking scary. That Luis Diaz might be on revenge. Anyways, we're not talking about it. We're talking about Barcelona, okay? So let's talk about it. The first half, boo. Oh my God, the first half, guys. And this is the thing that I think people don't understand about La Liga. Rashford is going to learn this. He is learning this. These teams, man, and this is why I said the first week with Real Madrid. Real Madrid played, what was it? Who did Real Madrid play in the first week? I think it was like Osuna. Was that who it was? Where I was kind of saying they didn't look great, but they had like 90% possession. Yeah, they won 1-0, okay? So today, Madrid, we'll talk about that game this afternoon. Whatever. This video is mainly going to be for people that watch Barcelona, watch the game history. You want to hear somebody talk about it even a day later, okay? So these low blocks, I got to say, man, it doesn't matter how good your team is. They are toxic to play against. Toxic. And La Liga is famous for it. There's about 7 to 9 teams, 7 to 10 teams in La Liga that when they do play Barcelona and they play Real Madrid, they put 11 players in the box. It's crazy. The Premier League, I don't even see this. The Premier League, because the Premier League, everybody's just running around like crazy, and some teams will sit for sure, but like, nah, it's another level. Like in the Premier League, you don't see. Can we get the final stats on this game yesterday? 82, bro. Chat and people watching this video, do you know how much possession 82% is? It's crazy. The other team doesn't even have the ball. It's like if the other team has 3 passes. The other team yesterday had 93 passes completed. 58% of passes completed. Guys, Pedri alone yesterday had like 150 passes. Okay, this is what I'm trying to explain to people. So, look, Barcelona, they get off to the worst possible start. And obviously, look, Levante game plan for this perfectly. The way Levante came out, it was disciplined, it was organized. The first goal they scored, Romero from Levante sent Kubarsi, all right, back to the youth academy. He sent him back to La Masia. He was cooked. Now, people are already, and this is the thing, it's the beauty of why Barcelona and Real Madrid are the 2 biggest clubs in the world every season, because one thing happens and everybody starts cooking. So now who's getting cooked? Kubarsi's just getting cooked. Everybody's like, yo, he sucks. He's terrible. Man, guys, these psychos, because of Hansi Flick, have all 4 defenders playing at the halfway line, are consistently expected to get back, 1v1 defend, close play. It's not easy. It's not easy. And thank God they brought in Joan Garcia, because Garcia, made a couple saves today, but he's just enabling. He's such a Hansi Flick goalkeeper, because Hansi, when they had their success with Bayern, they were using Neuer. He's giving that Spanish Neuer vibe. He's able to come out and sweep. He's not a stationary goalkeeper. Szczesny did a lot of good for them last year, but he's just turned out to be a really good signing for them. But man, so Romero, oh my God, I don't understand why people can't just give credit. Why can't we just sit here and say, man, the goal was crazy? All right, the buildup was crazy, and then boom, nasty feint, sends them, scores the goal. So they go up 1-0. I'm like, okay, it's early. But look, a team that's parking the bus, that helps out a team that's parking the bus a lot. When you get an early goal, you don't want to soak up too much pressure. And then we get, through and through the game, really the first half, not a ton of crazy chances. You have some here and then. It looked really static. Rafinha in the 10 doesn't look as good as when the second half you get Dani Olmo in the 10. And Rafinha obviously been having success at the 10 last season, also kind of to the left of the 10, which is where they went out with Rashford. I think Rashford and Balde, there's potential with those two, but they're still learning each other, because Balde likes to go really forward, and obviously Rashford is a lot of time looking to go 1v1. But I actually think Rashford did a really good job yesterday. Rashford is not used to playing, guys. Think about where Rashford has played in his career, specifically the majority of it, Manchester United. You don't see Manchester United outpossessing teams, at least in the stint he was with them, maybe for a season or two, more than like 60-40. All right, so he's in a team that he's playing against 11 players in the box. This is going to take Rashford some time to learn, because Barcelona is that good. This is a top 5 club in the world right now in terms of skill and ranking and how good they are. It's going to take Rashford some time, but I think I liked what I saw yesterday. He needs game time. I thought he was very elusive and brilliant in his one-on-one decisions, and I thought he really had a couple plays where it was close to linking up, try to sneak in the one shot, almost linked up a couple passes, and I think he just played simple. So I think people are getting a little overreactionary because I see the Barca fans on Twitter saying, well, it changed when Rashford came out. No, what really changed is that Pedri ignited you with an incredible long shot, which is why I'm telling you, he's the best midfielder in the world because his ability to just do something out of nothing, and then his ability, he gave a pass to Ferran Torres yesterday where Torres hit the crossbar. The composure on the pass was absolutely disgusting. I mean, Pedri, this guy has no chill. Like, he's fake. Like, he's so fake because he'll just, in the tightest, spots, he'll find out a little lob pass. And I can't believe the Shark missed it, unfortunately. But Pedri starts off Barcelona in the second half with a banger of a long shot, especially it was needed after the controversy because basically right before the half, Barca gets called for this handball on ball day. Guys, everybody tweets at me when there's these calls in these games. People were tweeting me today about the Manchester United penalty that Bruno skied. And, I'm done trying to make sense of calls. I don't even understand what's a foul, what's not a foul. I have no idea. I don't even understand the purpose of this VAR anymore because this VAR was supposed to be introduced as like a way that there was going to be a decision that was backed by technology that was like, yeah, that was a pen, or no, that wasn't a pen. Bro, it's so subjective. There's no rules anymore. So I'm done trying to figure out what's a penalty and what's not a penalty. The fact of the matter is they called a penalty, so Barca goes down 2-0 at half. Pedri starts them off with a brilliant long shot. All right, you can watch that 100 times. It's not going to get old. It was beautiful. And then the Shark ends up with a really nice finish off a corner. It was nice to see him get his goal. My biggest question with Barcelona is going to be when you don't have Lewandowski 100%, is Ferran Torres going to be operating at 50% of Lewandowski or 75? Because if you can get 75, damn, that's good, And I still think I watched a game in preseason that Rashford looked really good at the 9. So I think against some teams, we may see Hansi Flick actually using Rashford at the 9. Look, I know he wants to be out on the left, and that's the question mark because you go to the second half, Rafinha gets tucked in at kind of that left cam. It's not fully out wide on the left, which is where he's been liking to play, but obviously you bring in Rashford, you want to try him there. That's what he plays. Dani Olmo comes in the game, and, then the game ends with Yamal lobbing in a cross in the 90th minute. Guys, ultimately for me, Barcelona walks out of this game. I know you look at the stats, lucky. They're lucky. They're lucky they won this game. I think Barcelona needs to ask themselves some serious questions going forward this season about, do we want to do another season like this? Because what I mean by that is that Barcelona had many of these games last season. They go down 2-0, and this is the Hansi Flick team. They can score 3, 4, 5, and I think that's why Hansi Flick has tried to get this team to master the offside line, the style they play at, because he knows his team can score 3 to 5 goals in literally 40 minutes of football, which is what they did yesterday. I just worry for Barcelona. We look at the game versus Inter Milan, and PSG dog-walked Inter Milan in the final. I thought a big problem with Barcelona's style, and Hansi Flick, I know he's been successful with it. Clearly, you can see what he's done with Barcelona. Is there times that Hansi should adjust some of this high line, how ballsy they're playing? Because when you're playing a team that has 11 professional Spanish first division footballers behind the ball, and you give them 50 yards at some point, I know they had like 9 or 10 offsides yesterday, but 1 or 2 of them are going to go, and that's what you saw. Levante got 2 yesterday, pretty much abusing it. So I wonder, because I look at the Inter game, and I'm like, man, we really last year should have seen a Barcelona-Inter Milan Champions League final. Barcelona-PSG. My brain is still coming back together. We should have seen that. In the end, you could see how much Inter Milan look. It's not that they weren't undeserving. They played perfect against Barca, but I'm still worried about this. If Barcelona wants to get that Champions League trophy, is this style, if you commit to it like this 100%, going to be sustainable to get that with this group of players? I'm not saying it's not possible because he did it with Bayern Munich, but that's what I have to ask, because I felt like they invite a lot of this BS to happen. And then it gets blamed on guys like Kubarsi when the attacker really just in a 1v1 makes a great decision against him. And, it's crazy. Now, in terms of a viewer, look, guys, I'm American. I love watching football. It's my life. I don't have any ties to anybody. I like certain players. I like certain managers. This game was crack to watch because that's why Barcelona, I'm telling people think I'm a fan. I like watching every game because it's so entertaining. How many teams we see that are super effective that are just not really that entertaining? don't be surprised if Arsenal wins some crazy trophy this season. I don't enjoy watching them as much because it's just not as fun of a style to watch. It doesn't mean they're not an incredible team or they're not effective. So, I love it from Barcelona. I'm just saying for the fans, I think the fans are going to have another season of heart attacks if they do this 50-yard offside trap. I know you have to do it that high to be super successful, but I just wonder if there's something to change. So, other takeaways, we're at the 10-minute mark on the video. This is now 6 points on the season for Barcelona, guys. It's what you want to see. I think from Rashford, it was good yesterday. It looks like, guys, honestly, if there was one criticism I have about this game yesterday, and I know this is going to surprise a lot of you because it's the dude who got an 8.5 match rating. It was Lamine Yamal. Okay, Lamine Yamal, for me, he's young. He still has a TikTok brain. He's still learning. He's going to be one of the greatest players of his generation, if not the best. My problem with him yesterday was that he still needs to learn times of when to go and when not to go. When your whole team is overcommitted, it's not the time to go one-on-one. Both Levante goals yesterday were because of Lamine Yamal. I don't want to be too harsh on the kid, but you guys know, for me, I give him his flowers. I'm very defensive of him. Yesterday was one of the worst games I saw Lamine Yamal play in a while. It's not that he did necessarily anything that was stupid. I just felt like he needs to choose his moments better because both of the Levante goals, which were both, well, the penalty, you could say what you want. The other goal was a brilliant counter. They were both off of him losing the ball in situations where he lost it, maybe didn't track back as much as he should, or just really should have back passed it, especially in the second goal, which ended up going for a penalty instead of one-on-oneing in the middle when you had two players back and Levante's already sending it four in the risk that he loses the ball. So, look, he made up for it. I tweeted this yesterday. You guys saw my Twitter. I did say it. I did say 2 times Baby Goat lost the ball and Barca concedes both time for it. He owes them a 3-goal second half. He didn't do that. But he did give them the game-winning assist, which was one of those beautiful crosses that he puts in. I tell you, he also put in another cross this year. I forget which teammate on Barca missed it. His crossing ability is his passing vision. It's his best ability. I know you guys are, and his dribbling is close to number 1, but I still think that ability he has is, oh my God. His ability to serve a ball in an area is crazy. And then that ends up being an own goal and Barca wins the game. It's one of those games where these are the games that Barcelona, the more of these, that they can get out of with wins, the higher chance they're going to have to win a trophy this season. So, you still got your question marks in this team with really how you're going to line up. Casado started the first half. Eventually gets taken off. They bring in Gavi. Gavi is really now fighting to get back as a starter. He's not really a DM though, but they kind of were doing Pedri Gavi. So Casado, Casado also, this is why match ratings aren't everything. And this is my last thing I'll say because I've been yapping too much. Casado had one play in this game that if I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm like, respect. He tracked all the way back, closed down to 1v1, and I was like, yo, I know this guy was dead in his lungs from that track back because he ran like 70 yards, caught up, closed the guy down. That was very impressive. Araujo getting back into the lineup. Is this team good enough to win the league? Yes. They need to be a little bit more decisive with the moments they choose to commit against teams that are going to do this because, again, as I said, half the teams in the league are going to sit with 20% possession and wait for these guys to mess up. So they need to be disciplined. And I know it's easier said than done. Guys, I play football. I know when teams low block, it's terrible. You can lose to anybody when an organized low block is playing. So that's why I said last week I'm not judging Madrid too hard for the way the game went. But again, Barcelona almost get a nightmare yesterday. They escape it and they get the win. And guys, I'll tell you this, man. Hansi Flick, bro. If you're a Barca fan, it's a dream to have this guy managing your team after he finished you 8-2. He came to your team and he's revived you. It looks like you have another season exactly of what we saw last season of some great football. I don't know if they're going to be as good overall as last season. It's going to be very hard to do. Lewandowski, we're definitely starting to see the injuries and the age. Can Rafinha perform at that level? We don't want to see a situation like where Vinny has the Ballon d'Or season and then falls off and is not as good. Rafinha, we want you to... We don't want that for Vinny. We don't want that for Rafinha. So we want Rafinha to get back and play at that level. We know Baby Goat is going to play at the level. And guys, we know Pedri is the best midfielder in the world. That's it, bro. All right, that's my video. Madrid video later. Stay tuned for that. See you then. Peace.